I just want to say, I'm going to fucking beat you.
I heard your fucking team P sitting down like a motherfucker, man.
And the squad's ready to dominate.
Putting that gold in the pocket, baby.
I'm coming to win.
Mr. Win. You're going to become Mr. Lose.
This is the Fantasy Football War Room. Let's go! Alright, first matchup, we got me against Scotty.
Gentlemen. Jay Graz, big matchup this week, buddy. Sad to say, but you're going down. $20 coming home to me. Putting that gold in the pocket, baby. And all you're going to say from now on to all your guys on the strip is Seal pushed me yesterday. Yeah.
It's on, baby. I'm fresh off of COVID, but I'm feeling good now. And the squad's ready to dominate. That's all that we know these past couple weeks is domination. And you, sir, are going to get dominated this week. And I love my matchups this week. I got Dart going up against a Chicago defense that just gave up 42 points to the Bengals. I got Achan going up against Buffalo, who also stinks against the run. You know, Monongai is the one where I'm a little bit questioning if I should put him in my lineup. But after what he did last week, I think he's a must start. And it looks like the Bears are going to roll with the hot hand. I got Franklin. I started on Thursday. And thankfully, Franklin scored a touchdown. He was the lone bright spot of the game. And he put up 13 points when my opponent, Cortland Sutton, only put up 3. So I'm loving my matchups. I think I'm going to cruise to a 5-5 record. All right, next we got a couple of 3-6 teams. We got Wojo versus Young.
I just want to say, I'm going to fucking beat you, Young, this week in fantasy football. I know Bo Nix got me shit for points this week, but I'm still going to freaking take you down, all right?
Now, Wojo did start Bo Nix on Thursday, who had a shitty performance for a quarterback to put up 7 points, not even score, double digits. That's rough. But Young also started J.K. Dobbins and Will Lutz, who did relatively nothing in a Broncos defense that had a nice little performance. Both of these guys have decent running back matchups this week. You got Wojo with Gibbs and Jalen Warren. Gibbs up against Washington, Jalen Warren against the Chargers. And then you got Young, who's starting Derrick Henry, who's kind of been coming into his own this year. He is up against a decent Minnesota defense. And that Brees Hall, the guy that thought he was going to be out at the trade deadline. And he's right back there with the Jets. So we'll see how these matchups pan out for these guys. Their receivers, Wojo's got Alec Pierce in his lineup. I don't know what he's doing there. And Ladd, Ladd is in a committee of 3 guys who you never know. Is it going to be QJ? Is it going to be Ladd? Is it going to be Trey Harris? Is it going to be Gagston? There's a lot of weapons there, so this matchup should be an interesting one. I do like that Woj Golston Loveland against the Giants. I think he's going to have a big game. So we'll see who comes out on top in a big 3-6 matchup. All right, next up, we're looking at the number 1 seed versus the number 3 seed. This is the battle of the Phillips. But one of the Phillips has like 5 guys on bye. He's got Jamar Chase on bye, Patty Mahomes on bye, and Javonte Williams on bye. So he's just, kind of struggling to put together a roster. Trevor Lawrence versus Houston, that's kind of a difficult matchup. He's got Algier in there, Singletary, Garrett Wilson, Romeo Doubs, Trey McBride. I mean, his matchups are looking about as shitty as you could have this weekend, and he's got to start guys like Parker Washington and Tyler Algier. I mean, that's not optimal for a number 1 seed. So we could see the number 3 seed take him down. The number 3 seed has Jalen Hurts up against Green Bay. Typically I don't like starting guys against the Green Bay defense, but I just have a feeling in a primetime Monday night game is going to be a high-scoring game. Look at how the Green Bay game was against Dallas, where they both put up 40 points. I could see something similar to that this week, maybe a 30-33 type final score. It does have David Montgomery against Washington, beautiful matchup there, and Puka Nacua versus the Niners. So I think we'll see the number 3 seed knock off the number 1 seed this week. Let's see how it pans out. All right, and then there's only really one other matchup that's worth mentioning this week, is the number 4 seed Brenzel versus the number 6 seed Gudic. Now, Brenzel on Thursday night started Brock Bowers against the Denver defense. I don't know what he was thinking there. He should have had Dallas Goedert in there against the Packers, as the Packers have been pretty terrible against tight ends. But nevertheless, Brock Bowers put up 3 points, so he kind of shot himself in the foot to start the week there. He does have Rico Dowdle against New Orleans. That is a beautiful start. Quinshon Judkins versus the Jets. You know, the Jets just shipped off their 2 best defensive players at the deadline, so I think Judkins could have a big week. And then he's up against Gudic, who's got Mayfield against New England. That's going to be a great game this week. Tampa Bay versus New England. I'm wondering if this is going to be more of a defensive matchup or if we're going to see quite a bit of scoring there. So we'll see how that goes. Jacobs versus Philly. I could see him having a good week. And then he's got Kyron Williams versus San Fran. Another great football game there. Man, there's a lot of good football games this weekend. I just hope that Monday night, everybody is able to see the Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I think I just checked. It looks like it's going to be on NFL Network, but I don't know if that's going to be live, because if ESPN doesn't play it, all of us YouTube TV guys are going to be fucked out of the game of the week. So this is another good matchup, and let's see who comes out on top.